Could you just explain for us how big a deal this is for Netanyahu personally?
Oh, this is huge. I mean, he's been calling for bombing Iran since the 1990s, but some of your viewers may remember him holding up a cartoon of a bomb at the UN General Assembly some years ago, where he said if Iran developed this much uranium, it would be too late, the point of no return. No, this is a legacy issue for him.
Benjamin Netanyahu was born in Jaffa in 1949 to conservative Zionist parents. He was raised in Jerusalem and went to high school in the US after his family moved there. He returned to Israel to serve in the Israeli army and fought in the Arab-Israeli War in 1973. In 1976, Netanyahu's brother Jonathan was killed leading a raid to rescue hostages from a hijacked airliner in Entebbe, Uganda. It would have a profound impact on the Netanyahus. The family then moved back to Israel from the US. Netanyahu set up an anti-terrorism institute in his brother's memory. A turning point came in 1982 when Netanyahu became Israel's deputy chief of mission in Washington. Overnight, his public profile was launched, an articulate English speaker with a distinctive American accent. He became a familiar face on US television and an effective advocate for Israel. He was appointed Israel's permanent representative at the UN in New York in 1984. In 1988, he won a seat for the right-wing Likud party in the Knesset and became deputy foreign minister. In 1993, he became the leader of the Likud party and a fierce opponent of the 1993 Oslo Peace Accords. He went on to become Israel's youngest prime minister in 1996 after campaigning to stop the peace process and guarantee that all of Jerusalem would stay under Israeli control.
Can we have peace in the Middle East?
Very briefly, please.
Yes, I sincerely hope so. Look, I'm 28 years old. I've had to defend my country in 2 wars and in many battles. Nobody wants peace more than Israel. But the stumbling block to the road for peace is this demand for a PLO state, which will mean more war, which will mean more violence in the Middle East. And I sincerely believe, if this demand is abandoned, we can have real and genuine peace.
Thank you.
Thank you. Secretary.
Is the issue of self-determination the core of the conflict in the Middle East?
The real core of the conflict is the unfortunate Arab refusal to accept the state of Israel.
But why did Trump pull out?
He pulled out because Bibi doesn't want the JCPOA. Bibi wanted to go to war with Iran. He's wanted regime change in Iran for decades.
So you're saying that Bibi Netanyahu controls Trump?
Trump's the most honest person
in the world.
You're saying
that Bibi Netanyahu controls Trump. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think the Israeli government controls our government. Yes.
Well, that's your opinion.
No, it's not an opinion.
And you're wrong, but that's entitled to your opinion.
It's based on AIPAC.
So you're saying that Trump...
It's based on money and politics. It's based on the fact that Netanyahu go to the U.S. to invade Iraq and then didn't even send IDF soldiers. He had 4,000 of our soldiers die in Iraq based on a false premise of weapons of mass destruction.
Like you care about American soldiers.
I do care about American soldiers, and I care about American taxpayers who spend trillions of dollars on this trash when we are dealing with $37 trillion in debt.
So now you're a fiscal conservative.
Yeah, I am a fiscal conservative when it comes to spending our resources on wars that we shouldn't be fighting on behalf of a foreign country.
Let me understand this. You're saying that Trump is so weak and such a pussy that he just listens to whatever Bibi does? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he's weak or a pussy. I think he's transactional.
I
think he's transactional. And I think that he buys this ridiculous narrative that Iran was behind the 2 assassination attempts when there isn't even a shred of evidence other than Netanyahu declaring it.
Israel needs to fight its own wars. But Israel knows that it cannot fight against Iran. They want to do this strike. They want to do military operations in Iran in the middle of peace negotiations, diplomatic talks between the United States and Iran. Why do you think they want to do that? Iran had stopped enriching uranium. They stopped their nuclear program as a result of the Iran nuclear deal that was signed in 2015. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's prime minister, was not happy with that deal because he wanted war with Iran. He wants regime change, and he wants the United States military to fight that war on behalf of Israel. It is unacceptable, and we're not falling for it again. You can go all the way back to 2012, and you can hear speeches featuring Netanyahu claiming that Iran was days away from developing a nuclear weapon. It was always a lie. It was a lie then. It's a lie now. And it's absolutely disgusting that more lives are on the line thanks to the lies that are being spewed by propagandists like Elon on outlets like this. You're a liar. We're not going to go to war on your behalf. Sorry. Move on. They want to take over more land in that region. And I think it's pretty clear. It's abundantly clear. Just full of lies. I mean, I can show you videos dating back to 1996 in which Benjamin Netanyahu is testifying before Congress to say that there are weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. They were lobbying for us to invade Iraq all the way back to 1996. So to the international community, to my fellow Americans, please do not fall for the same lies again. My heart breaks for all the innocent lives that will be lost. My heart breaks for the American soldiers who are going to risk their lives on behalf of this country that is obviously lying to us right now. It is going to be a complete and utter disaster. And if you think that beating Iran or doing regime change in Iran is going to be a cakewalk, consider the fact that it has far greater landmass than Iraq does. 90 million people, far more military capability than Iraq ever had. And we couldn't even defeat the Houthis in Yemen. You think we're going to be able to beat Iran? So many people are going to die. It's going to be a disaster. Don't fall for his lies, please. I'm begging you all to read into it and research it yourself. If you take what the Israelis are saying at face value, you're going to walk into complete death and destruction. I just think it would be a huge mistake for the United States to get involved in yet another regime change war in the Middle East. Americans are sick of it. We have our own problems in our own country. We provide Israel billions of dollars every single year, no questions asked, for their defense. We provided them with, the Iron Dome. They get endless support from the United States, sometimes to the detriment of the American people. And it would be ridiculous to get dragged into another war.
John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. I want to give our praises and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, forgive me the spirit, to do this lesson. In this lesson, I'm going into a part 2 of my last lesson. And you see from the clips I prepared through research and seeking the truth, man, of this guy, okay, and his role in prophecy, okay, like I went through in the last lesson, okay, he is a major piece that led the U.S. Army to the Middle East in the first place, okay, starting with Iraq, okay, even going back to the Iraq-Iran war, all right, and you can look that up, not going to go into it, okay, but the U.S. and these guys and this guy, Netanyahu, put a battery in Saddam back to go against Iran back in the day. Okay. They're the ones that gave him intel and information. They're so big on this intel, but they be lying, man, because they're the devil. So they gave Saddam intel, okay, that he believed against Iran. And that's how that war started. And then they come back and take down Saddam. You can't trust the devil, man. Okay, he's a thief. Okay, it says the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and destroy. All right. Now you see in the first clip, this is a legacy. Okay, this is a legacy thing for Netanyahu. And I mentioned that in my last lesson. And then I saw that video. I said, man, that's a spirit. That's a spirit, man. That's what I was talking about. Okay, I mentioned that he's 75. This dude has done a lot, okay? And for him, this is a legacy at the end, fulfillment, okay? Finished a job that he started. He's not playing, as you see. He's not joking. What did he say in the other clip? He said what? He said, we're going for even regime change. It may be we have to take the whole country down. All right, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? And I didn't realize until now that he grew up in the United States, okay, for a portion of his life. His father was born in Poland. Okay, they came down to Israel, all right, and they moved down to Israel, to the Jewish state. They went from the Jewish state to America. Okay, he grew up and went to high school in New York. Okay, there's a movie about him. A documentary. If you just type in Netanyahu's movie, it's like 2 hours. You can watch it for free. Okay, a lot of good information. I haven't watched the whole thing, but a lot of good information to understand the history, man. Okay, because just a little brief, but y'all can go watch it. His father is the one, okay, that came up with the whole, we got to protect Israel. We got to protect Israel. Okay, he taught him and his brother heavily about that. All right. That is a big reason why he's like he is about, protecting the Jewish state, protecting the Jewish state. Part of it is what his father taught him. And that he's the devil. Okay. And as you saw a little history in the video, a little clip, his brother ended up dying. Okay. And then he pretty much, his mission to take down the terrorists in the Middle East, Netanyahu, he dedicated that to his brother. Okay. So his whole mission of going around the world, being the hammer, okay, participating in that. All right. Because he is one of the main characters, man. Okay. The proof is already out there. He is one of the main characters. You thinking about George Bush during that time and the Bush family and them, they're just faces, man. Okay. But he's the one that was in the government because he worked in the U.S. government. We didn't know that either. Okay. He worked in the U.S. government. Okay. Having deep ties to the Jewish state. And while he did that, he was manipulating and pushing his agenda, saying we got to go take down the terrorists in the Middle East. We got to invade. We got to take down Saddam. We got to take down this. We got to take down Iran. Okay, that's why you see the videos of them asking him, so what do we do? Okay, because he's been doing this, man, while he's working in the U.S. government. Okay, now there's videos, there's a clip at the end, but you got to read the words. It's not long. Back in the day of him saying pretty much we own America pretty much. Okay, we are America pretty much. Our influence is all in the U.S. government. They pretty much do what we say. He pretty much said that, man. I'm going to leave that at the end and y'all can read the little words. Okay, because it's in their language. But yeah, man, this is serious. So when you read back at Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23, how's the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder? Okay. How's Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Okay. There's another scripture that speaks about that did shake nations and kingdoms. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? So again, Netanyahu has played a major top role, okay? A major top role in weakening the nations. Okay? Pretty much it's in his book, which I'm going to go into in part 3. I'm not going to go into it in this part. Okay? But you see that woman who's speaking in the other clips, you see her speaking about how when they set up to invade Iraq, that it was him. It was Netanyahu. Okay. More and more is getting talked about all across the internet. That is him the whole time. It's this guy. You the guy that was pushing all these wars and the focal point of the mindset of how to do these wars and who to invade and who to take down. Okay. You pretty much, like she said, you push for war for Iraq, but then you use 5,000, you ask for 5,000 U.S. troops to start it. That's what that woman said. Okay. But doesn't that line up with what he said years ago? Talking about how pretty much they own America pretty much. We have the influence in America. It's all Jewish state people. Come on now. Everything is coming together. Okay. This is in his heart. This is rooted in this man's heart. That's why you see that clip when he was like 27, 28. And they're asking him questions about the Palestine and the Jewish state and et cetera, et cetera. And he's saying what he's saying. He's been doing this, man. Okay. He's been doing this because, again, his father taught him and his brother, okay, to really protect Israel and be on this mind frame of being a complete devil. Okay. So this is a legacy thing for Netanyahu, a legacy thing. So now it's clear, more and more and more. It's getting clear. Yahweh Shai wanted to manifest this in the spirit so that we understand even more how close the end is. He's not going to stop. All right. Netanyahu did not do all this to stop now. That's why you brothers, your mind should be getting ready mentally and spiritually. All right. To get closer to Yahweh Shai. okay, before all hell really break loose. You want to be confident, okay, in the power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. You want to be confident in those names. Okay, so you're supposed to measure the time and look at it, okay, to get more right. Use this as fuel to get more right, because the prophecies are jumping off the page. It's speaking. Okay, the prophecies are speaking. All right, so this is just part 2, a quick part 2. I'm going to go deeper in part 3. Okay, but you see, man. There's no excuses to not know what time we in right now. No excuses. Okay, this guy is the real deal on the left-hand side, and he's going to complete his mission. Okay, through death, destruction of the whole world. He don't give a damn. Like I said on the last lesson, he's that guy from Avatar, that military captain. He going for blood. He don't give a damn, man. He gonna finish this legacy thing, man. And he's 75, like I said, so he know he ain't got a lot of time left. You think he gonna skip this opportunity? Like he said, even if it's regime change, it may be. Bruh, World War III, bro. Come on now. Oh, and I got some more inside information. Okay, but I'll do that on another lesson because I want to add some more stuff to it. But on the military and these military families getting calls, and the Air Force and certain people giving 8 hours to say goodbye to their family. I'm dead serious, man. No joke. But with that, I will come with a part 3. With that, just go check it out. And also go check out that movie. It's 2 hours, so, you can watch, pieces here, pieces there. But just type in Netanyahu's movie, and it'll pop up. It's 2 hours long. It's on YouTube. So with that, I hope you're edified. I want to give our praises and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Arkha, Kodash. Forgive me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to you, Arkham, out there that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.
אנחנו הולכים למסלול התנגשות עם הממשל האמריקאי.
ארצות הברית זה לא מקשה אחת. זה לא מקשה אחת. יש את הסנאט, יש את הקונגרס, יש את הכוח היהודי שהוא עצום, יותר חזק משהיה אי פעם. יש דעת קהל, יש לנו כוחות כבירים בדעת הקהל שמתנגדים למדיניות הזאת, גדולי הפרשנים. אמריקה לא תכפה עלינו דבר.
But I'll tell you one thing, unlike America, Israel seems to be able to fight wars very quickly. What is your secret? Because we don't seem to have the hang of that.
The secret is that we have America.